Hello students, welcome to video lecture on deductions from gross total income. I am NV Patil, Assistant Professor of Commerce at KLE's BK College Chikkodi. In this video I am going to discuss deduction under sections 80GG to 80U. Dear students, I made a series of video lectures on deductions under section 80C to 80U. In my first video lecture, I have explained the basics of deductions and deduction under section 80C. In my second video, I discussed sections 80CCC to 80EE, and in my third video, I have explained deduction under section 80G. The links for these three videos is given in the description. You can watch these videos too. And this is my fourth video on a deduction under section 80GG to 80U. Let us start with deduction under section 80G. This deduction is in respect of house rent paid by an individual. It means if an individual has paid an house rent for his residence, then he can get deduction under section 80GG, provided certain conditions are to be fulfilled. Those conditions are: first one, no house rent allowances. It means an individual does not receive house rent allowances. Second condition, no house at the place of employment. And third one, no claim for the benefit of self-occupied house property while computing the income from house property. And the last one is proof of payment of rent. If these four conditions are fulfilled by an individual, then he can get a deduction under section 80GG in respect of house rent paid. See the quantum or the amount of deduction under this section. Deduction amount shall be minimum of the followings. The calculation of the deduction amount under section 80GG is similar to calculation of the HRA. First one, actual rent paid by him in excess of 10% of total income. Second, or 25% of his total income, or maximum rupees 5,000 per month. Minimum amount among these is deduction amount under section 80GG. Here total income means total income for the deduction under section 80GG equals to it is similar to the amount or the amount same as we studied in case of deduction under section 80G, that is adjusted gross total income. Here also the total income means total income for deduction under section 80GG is adjusted gross total income. It means from the gross total income we have to deduct long-term capital gain, short-term capital gain under section 111A, share of income from AOP, and any deductions under section 80C to 80U except deduction under section 80GG. It is the total income, or we may call it as a adjusted gross total income for this section. Example: Dr. Suresh is medical practitioner in Dharwad whose gross total income was rupees 2,50,000 for the previous year ended 31st/3/2019. He made payment of life insurance premium of rupees 20,000 on his own life and medical insurance premium by check on the health of his father under Mediclaim scheme, rupees 20,000. He paid a rent of rupees 2,000 per month for a house occupied by him in Dharwad. Compute the deduction under section 80 GG and total income for AY 2019-20. In the problem they have given the gross total income which was rupees 2,50,000, and here Dr. Suresh has paid life insurance premium of rupees 20,000. It is allowed or qualify for deduction under section 80C, and he has paid the medical insurance premium on the health of his father of rupees 20,000. This 20,000 is allowed or qualify for deduction under section 80D, and he paid a rent of rupees 2,000 per month. So this is the amount which is allowed as a deduction under section 80 GG. Solution: deduction under section 80 GG. There are three amounts to be calculated. First one is rent paid in excess of 10% of adjusted gross total income or total income. So here the rent it is 2,000 per month, means total rent is 24,000, and 10% of the total income or adjusted gross total income. In the working note I have calculated the adjusted gross total income, that is total income for deduction under section 80 GG equals to gross total income 2,50,000 minus deduction under section 80C to 80U available or applicable to the assessee. Those are life insurance premium 20,000 and medical insurance premium 20,000. So the deduction adjusted gross total income or total income for 80 GG is 2,10,000. So here the 10% of the 2,10,000 is 21,000. So excess of 10% of rent paid in excess of the 10% of adjusted gross total income, it is rupees 3,000. And the second one is 25% of the total income. Already we calculated the total income, that is rupees 2,10,000. 25% of this is 52,500, and the next maximum amount, that is rupees 5,000 per month. For 12 months it is 60,000. So least of these or the minimum of these three is allowed as a deduction under section 80 GG, that is rupees 3,000. So it is the calculation of deduction amount under section 80 GG. In the problem they have asked to compute the total income also. So here it is total income for AY 2019-20. Gross total income rupees 2,50,000. Deduction under section 80C 20,000 in respect of life insurance premium. Deduction under section 80D in respect of medical or health insurance premium, maximum rupees 25,000. So here 20,000 he paid by check, so 20,000 is allowed as a deduction, and this is the deduction under section 80 GG, rent paid rupees 3,000. So total deduction allowable to him rupees 43,000. So total income for the assessment year 2019-20 is rupees 2,07,000. So next one is deduction under section 80 GGA. It is in respect of donations for the scientific research or rural development. This deduction is applicable to an assessee who is not having income under the head profits and gains of business or profession. It means it is applicable to all the assessee, but that assessee should not have an income which is chargeable to tax under the head profits and gains of business or profession. And there is only one condition, that the donation should be paid by the mode other than cash in the previous year, and the quantum of deduction is 100% donation made. It means the full amount of donation paid by an assessee is allowed as a deduction under section 80GG A. And the next one is deduction under section 80GGB. It is in respect of donation to political parties. It means if an Indian company, it is applicable to only an Indian companies. So if an Indian company contributed or donated amount to political parties, then the deduction is applicable or allowable under this section. The quantum of deduction is 100% of the donations made. It means the full amount donated to political party is allowed as a deduction, and the donation should be paid by mode other than cash. And the next one is deduction under section 80GG C, donation to political parties. But this deduction is applicable to all assessee other than artificial juridical person. It means donation under section 80GGB, it is applicable only to companies. Other than company, if an assessee donated to political party, then he can claim deduction under section 80GGC. So it is applicable to all the assessee other than artificial juridical person and local authority. And the quantum of deduction is 100% of donations made in the previous year. It means here all these three deductions are in respect of the donations, but not a donation to any specified that funds or organizations. If an assessee has donated towards any specified funds or organization or association, he can claim deduction under section 80G. We discussed it in my third video lecture. And if he made a donation for scientific research, political party and political parties, he can get deduction under section 80GGA, 80GGB and 80GGC. And the next one is deduction under section 80QQB. Till now we discussed the deductions. All are in respect of any payments, donations or savings. This deduction is for the income of assessee, that is royalty income of authors of the book. It means it is applicable to a resident individual if a resident individual being an author, the gross total income includes any income derived by him in exercise of his profession in the copyright of any book, being the work of literary, artistic or scientific nature, or copyright fee in respect of such book. A deduction is allowed under section 80QQB. In simple words, royalty on books other than textbooks, an assessee can get deduction of such a royalty under section 80QQB. And the quantum of deduction is rupees 3 lakh maximum amount, or the actual royalty income, whichever is minimum, it is the allowable amount. It means the maximum allowable amount under section 80QQB is rupees 3 lakh. The next one is deduction under section 80RRB. It is also in respect of an income, that is royalty on patents, and it is also applicable to resident individual in case of an resident individual being a patentee has received any income by way of royalty in respect of patent, and his gross total income includes such royalty amount, then he can claim deduction under section 80 RRB, and the quantum of deduction is same as of deduction under section 80 QQB, that is rupees 3 lakh maximum amount or a royalty income, whichever is minimum. These two deductions are relating to royalty, QQB and RRB. The next one is also in respect of an income, deduction under section 80 TTA. It is important one. Interest on deposits in saving account only. It is applicable to an individual and Hindu undivided family. Other than individual and Hindu undivided family, this deduction is not applicable to such assessees. It means if an company has deposited in the saving banks, then the interest from such saving bank is not allowed as a deduction for a company. Okay, so this deduction is applicable only to an individual or Hindu undivided family, and it is also a deduction in respect of income, not in respect of any payments or any donations or any expenditures. It is in respect of income of an assessee. So if the gross total income of an individual or Hindu undivided family includes interest on savings accounts or SB account, not on fixed deposit, keep in mind, okay, then such interest is allowed as a deduction under this section up to rupees 10,000. The maximum amount of deduction in total is rupees 10,000. So this deduction is not applicable to a resident senior citizen, because there is a separate deduction under section 80 TTB which is applicable to senior citizen. Senior citizen means a person who is aged of 60 years or more. So the next one is a deduction under section 80 TT. It is in respect of interest on deposits. See the difference between 80 TTA and 80 TTB comparison. 80 TTA is interest on deposits in saving account only. Here fixed deposit is not covered, but 80 TTB is in respect of interest on deposits. Here saving bank and fixed deposit is also covered. It means any interest from bank on saving bank or fixed deposits account, such interest can be allowed as a deduction to senior citizen up to rupees 50,000. A resident senior citizen aged 60 years or above at any time during financial year whose gross total income included interest on bank deposits, savings as well as fixed deposit, a deduction up to maximum of rupees 50,000 is allowed under section 80 TTB. We will solve sums on 80 TTA and 80 TTB. And one more important I would like to clear here, that interest on post office saving bank deposit, it is also not covered under this. Interest on post office saving bank account is exempt. For individual account up to rupees 3,500 is exempt, not included in the gross total income. It is tax-free income. While calculating income from other sources, if an assessee has an income that interest on post office saving bank deposit up to 3,500 is tax free. In case of joint account, it is rupees 7,000. Example, from the particulars of Mr. Sangmesh, 58 years old, calculate the total income. They have asked to compute the total income. He has an income from house property rupees 2,20,000, interest on post office saving bank account rupees 8,000, interest on SB account rupees 15,000, and interest on fixed deposit rupees 30,000. Solution: computation of total income. First, income from house property rupees 2,20,000. Next, he has three incomes, that interest on post office saving bank account, interest on SB account, and interest on fixed deposits account. These three incomes are taxable under the head income from other sources. So here is a head income from other sources. Under that head, first one, interest on SB account rupees 15,000. See, it is allowed as a deduction under section 80(a). But first we should take, or we should include that income into gross total income. It is not an exempted income. For this he can claim deductions. Okay, so first it should be taken while computing the income from other sources. So it is rupees 15,000. Second one, interest on fixed deposit account rupees 30,000, and interest on post office saving bank. Just I told that there is a exemption for this income up to rupees 3,500 under section 1015. So 8,000 minus exempt is 3,500, 4,500 is taxable. So total income under the head other source is 49,500. So total of these two heads is called as gross total income, that is 2,69,500. From the gross total income we should deduct the deductions allowable. So in this case he is allowable a deduction under section 80 (a) for the interest on SB account. So rupees 15,000 interest on SB account, and the maximum amount is 10,000. So whichever is less or minimum is allowed as a deduction, that is rupees 10,000. So total income of Mr. Sangmesh for the AY for this assessment year is 2,59,500. Dear students, it is a format for computation of the total income. The next example, from the particulars of Mr. Sumit, 65 years old, senior citizen, calculate the total income. Income from house property 1,50,000. He has an income from business rupees 1 lakh. Interest on SB account 25,000, and interest on fixed deposit rupees 20,000. Compute the total income. Solution: computation of total income. First, income from house property. Income from house property rupees 1,50,000. He has income from business, that is rupees 1 lakh, and he has a income under that other sources, that is interest on SB account and interest on fixed deposit. these two items are taxable or income are taxable under that income or other sources. Interest on SB account 25,000 and interest on FD account 20,000. So total is total it is 45,000 income from other sources. So total gross total income 2,95,000. Gross total income 2,95,000. it is, sorry, and deduction under section 80TB. As he is a senior citizen, he can get a deduction under section 80TB for the interest on deposits. Okay, so 50,000 maximum allowable. So total interest on deposit in total it is 45,000. Maximum is 50,000. So deduction allowable is 45,000. Okay, so deduct 40 to 5,000 from the gross total income 2,95,000. 2,50,000 it is the total income. The next deduction, it is the last one, deduction under section 80U. It is in case of a person with disability. Here an assessee is a disabled person. It means here this deduction is applicable to a resident individual who is a disabled person. Assessee himself is a disabled person here. Okay, it is not necessary to spend any amount for his medical treatment. Okay, he will get a deduction if he is a disabled person. That is deduction under section 80U. It is not in respect of any income or the savings. If an assessee is a disabled person, he will get deduction under section 80U. So this is applicable to a resident individual. Conditions, there are only two conditions. One is assessee is a disabled person. Second one is copy of certificate must furnish while filing the returns. Quantum of deduction, it is depend on the extent of disability. In case assessee is suffering from disability to the extent of 40% or more but less than 80%, then he can get a deduction rupees 75,000 flat amount. Okay, statutory amount rupees 75,000. If the disability of a person is 80% or more, then the deduction allowable is rupees 1,25,000. This deduction is allowable irrespective of the actual expenditure incurred. The amount of expenditure incurred is not a matter here. If an assessee is a disabled person, he can get a deduction of rupees 75,000 and rupees 1,25,000 in case of severe disability. In my second video, we discussed deduction under section 80DD. It is also relating to a disabled person, but it is not that in case of deduction under section 80DD, it is to an expenses incurred for maintenance and medical treatment of a dependent who is a person with a disability. But this deduction is in respect of the person with a disability. It means assessee himself is a disabled person. Here I made a comparison of these two just to clarify both the deductions. Deduction under section 80DD, it is applicable to individual and Hindu undivided family, but a deduction 80U is to an individual. when this deduction is allowed, or for which the deduction is allowed. It is for the expenses incurred for the maintenance and medical treatment of a dependent who is a person with a disability, but it is when assessee is a disabled individual. If assessee is a disabled individual and he has incurred expenses for dependent who is a person with a disabled, then an assessee can get a deduction under section 80DD as well as deduction under section 80U. And the extent of deduction for both the section is same, 75,000 or 1,25,000. Have an example. Rahul of Bengaluru is a resident of India whose disability is certified by authorized doctor and accepted by income tax department. His gross total income in the previous year 2018-19 was rupees 4,50,000. Compute his total income. So here Rahul is a disabled person and his gross total income is rupees 4,50,000. As he is a disabled person, the disability is certified by authorized doctor, he can claim deduction under section 80U. Here the extent of the deduction is not mentioned. In this case, it is we can assume that it is a normal disability. Normal disability means more than 40% or more, but less than 80%. So the total income, that is gross total income, 4,50,000 4,50,000 less deduction under section 80U as a person with a disability 75,000. So total income is 3,75,000. Next example, Mahesh of Belgavi is a resident of India whose disability is certified by authorized doctor and accepted by income tax department. His gross total income in the previous year was rupees 6 lakh. One of his child is mentally retarded, on whose treatment he has spent rupees 50,000 in previous year. Compute the total income. Assume his child's disability is 85%. So here Mr. Mahesh of Belgavi is a disabled person. He can claim deduction under section 80U, and his child is also a disabled person who is a dependent, and Mr. Mahesh has spent rupees 50,000 for maintenance of his child. Then he can get a deduction under section 80DD also, and here the disability of his child is given, that is 85%. So 1,25,000 deduction is allowed under section 80DD. Here is the solution. Gross total income 6 lakh less deductions under section 80DD. It is for the medical treatment of a disabled dependent, his child. So his child's disability is more than 80%, so the deduction amount is 1,25,000, and he is allowable deduction under section 80U as Mahesh himself is a disabled person, right? So assessee is a disabled person, so the deduction is 75,000 under section 80U. Total deduction allowable 2 lakh, so 4 lakh it is the total income of Mahesh. Note: deduction under section 80DD is for the medical treatment of dependent person, and deduction under section 80U is for the person with disabled. Quick revision: of today's lecture. ATGG, house rent, it is in respect of house rent paid. Minimum of these three is allowed as deduction, that is excess of rent paid over 10% of adjusted gross total income, 25% of adjusted gross total income, rupees 5,000 per month maximum. Least of these is allowed as deduction. Okay, it is relating to rent, and these three are in respect of donations. ATGGA for scientific research, political party by the company, donation to political parties by company, donation to political parties. The amount of deduction in all these four section is 100%. And the next two are in respect of royalty. ATQQB, royalty on books other than textbook, royalty on patents, and the amount of deduction is same for both the section, that is maximum rupees 3 lakh. And the next two are in respect of interest on bank deposits. Double TA is interest on SB accounts only, and the maximum amount of deduction rupees 10,000, up to 10,000. ATTTB applicable to senior citizen only. It is interest on bank deposits, both saving and fixed deposits, and the maximum amount of deduction is rupees 50,000. And the last one, ATU, in case an assessee is a disabled person, amount of deduction 75,000 if the disability is, the extent of disability is 40% or more but less than 80%, rupees 25,000 for severe disability. Severe disability means the extent of disability is 80% or more. Thank you. I hope you understood all the deductions from ATC to ATU. Please subscribe the channel. In the next video I will going to talk on assessment of firm. Thank you.